All right, hey, this is Act 2 of the podcast. We're getting right back into it. If you missed Act 1, go back and listen to that thing. Otherwise, this isn't going to make any sense. Okay, see ya. I don't know what to say about that. I think the surprise that they have Latin American names is going to kind of fuck people up. You know, everybody's saying, oh my God, it's crazy. MAGA fucks, Jesus Christ, white people. And they're fucking Mexicans or whatever. Or Mexican heritage. It shouldn't really change anything. It really shouldn't. Rebecca says they're both Hispanic. Is that supposed to be the surprise? Yeah, I don't know what Nick is saying. Is that the surprise? Is that what you're suggesting, that that's the surprise? Donko says this proves it. Hispanics are white. All right. Nick, what do you have to say for yourself about that? I don't know if you've been following the story about NBC's Savannah Guthrie. Her mother is missing. And it's being investigated like a crime. The sheriff in Pima County, Arizona, or Pima, P-I-M-A, believe that Nancy Guthrie, who is 84, sharp mind, but her body's a little wonky because she's a little older. She doesn't have the ability to walk very far, so they don't think she walked away. They believe, after investigating the home, that someone took her from the home against her will and possibly abducted. Well, I guess that would be abducted. If somebody's taking you from the home, that is being abducted. We believe after we process that crime scene that we do, in fact, have a crime. They did not elaborate what evidence was found. Savannah Guthrie was not on TV yesterday or today. And in her first statement, she's asking for people to pray. Oh, boy. That never works out when you do that. I mean, people, when they pray, it's like, then the next step is you find somebody dead in a ditch. I mean, I'm not saying don't pray. But whenever they say, all right, we got a few tools in our toolbox. What are they? Praying. It's like, well, let's get some more tools in the toolbox. Praying's fine. I mean, you can't really say anything bad about praying. I'm not that guy. Like, you know, when people say, hey, I'm praying for you, I'm always like, thanks. I appreciate that. That's nice. That's a nice thing. Someone's thinking about me. They're praying for me. You know, some people say that doesn't do shit, and I don't believe that. But I think that, you know, we gotta have a little bit more going on there. It is just awful. Maureen says, such a sad story. I hope she's found safe. Yeah, I think everybody thinks that. Cole, back to our previous story about the two Mexicans, says, thank God that the last names of the guys who shot Preddy weren't Trigger Happy and AIM. So the Super Bowl is right around the corner, and I think that the coach of the New England Patriots is showing some intense bit of patience here and grace, because the reporter during the big press conference for the Super Bowl asked Mike Vrabel if the Super Bowl is a must-win game. Can you imagine if he said no? I mean, that's what I would have done. If somebody said to me, hey, EZ, you're the coach of the football team in the Super Bowl. Is the Super Bowl a must-win game? No, we don't have to win this one. In fact, I'm telling the guys, go into this one. Don't try to win. This is how he responded.
Is this a must-win game?
A must-win? Yeah, I think every time we go out is a must-win game. I mean, it's kind of the attitude that I've always taken in the National Football League.
Okay, he's way too nice. He's way too nice. This is a moment where, like, sometimes coaches are dicks. I think you can be a dick, but still silly. I mean, maybe not a dick. I mean, I think if you roll with that, you could actually have some fun. A must-win game. Well, yeah, I sure as hell hope so. I hope this is a must-win game. I can't think of any other game that could be more must-win than this game. All right, another ridiculous clip. NBA coverage over the weekend. They bring Caitlin Clark to kind of like analyze the game. You got a woman NBC sports host, or whatever network this is. I guess I don't know. 2 former basketball players, one of which is Reggie Miller. And a chick says to Reggie Miller, hey, you got Caitlin Clark next to you. Who in the NBA does she remind you of? So he's going to use his expertise to compare an NBA player to her. Now, I don't think she's happy with who he thinks. It's some guy named Peyton Pritchard. And she must think that guy sucks. Because watch the look on her face when Reggie Miller says Peyton Pritchard. She goes from being happy to disgusted.
Too. I know you guys have seen Caitlin play. She's a one-of-ones, but is there like a comparison of somebody that you played with, you
Low volume.
guys watching the game right now, that reminds you of the young lady to your right?
I like Peyton Pritchard from Boston, the way he's able to handle.
She goes from nice smile and excited to hear what he has to say to grossed out.
I like Peyton Pritchard from Boston, the way he's able to handle the basketball. He makes big shots when the shot clock's running down. A lot like this young lady right here. Isn't afraid of the big moment and is a champion like she's soon to be.
That's great. I don't know. I think she might just be not that TV savvy. I mean, she's a basketball player, not a TV star. Rebecca says that was a dumb question for Mike Vrabel. Is the Super Bowl a must-win game? Rebecca adds, how awkward is it to have them talk about you in front of you? Yeah, that is weird. That is weird. I think that they, you get that from time to time where you have like female athlete and they're going to do everything that they can to put them on a pedestal. I mean, come on. You don't have to do that. Just take their gameplay and tell the world about it. It's all you got to do. You don't need to force anything down anybody's throat. All right. Let's move on. This one came into me, and I forgot who sent it. Who the hell sent this? Wanted because of the possibility that I might do my Paul Stanley from Kiss impression. That would be Josh. This is from my town in Chattanooga. I can't believe these people weren't into Kiss. I look for any excuse to hear your Paul Stanley. Hey, Gene. We're hot. We got rock and roll pneumonia. Let's call out Dr. Love. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Everybody's drinking tonight. How about a little cold gin? He always introduces every song that way. Oh, yeah. I know you love a cute girl. Peter Criff is going to sing Beth. Oh, yeah. I know you like to party. So let's rock and roll all night and party every day. Oh, yeah. I know y'all like to lick. We're gonna lick it up. And then the songs start, and it's the same 3 chords over and over again. After every song, Paul Stanley it's gonna end, and he's gonna go, oh yeah. I know you asking, do you love me? I can't think of any more Kiss songs. Oh yeah. I know you're armed and dangerous. You're gonna rip up the love gun. Oh yeah. I know. You like a great Midwestern American blue-collar city. It's Detroit Rock City. We go. And then whenever Ace would sing, like there's a song called Shock Me. Oh, yeah. We go turn the microphone over to Ace Frehley. Shock me. I bring this up. Well, it's not even really a reason to do it, but this couple stole some fucking guy's Kiss memorabilia in Josh's hometown of Chattanooga. So this dude, he has a whole bunch of Kiss shit. And look at this chick that robbed him. She's got half of her head shaved off. And so her and some other fucker went into his house when he wasn't around or some shit and stole all his stuff. Stole all of his Kiss gear and a bunch of other stuff. So the guy who got his shit stolen, he said, all right, this is probably related to drugs. Somebody's going to try to sell my Kiss shit. So he reached out to like a secondhand store and said, there's going to be some people coming in who are trying to sell you a bunch of Kiss shit. Let me know. And it worked. It worked. They did try to sell it to the guy solved his own crime. Like he did it. Angela Denise Adams and Lonnie Levon Boyd came in with the gear, and they were arrested. Facing numerous charges, including theft over $10,000. They're also charged with the possession of fentanyl and resale and possession of marijuana for resale. They also took a safe containing $10,000 in cash. What kind of idiot keeps that type of money in the house? The homeowner said he was away from the residence January 4th. Upon returning home, he found the door had been pried open. Video from a neighbor showed a vehicle, and the idiot's taking the shit out of the house. Oh, Gene! Somebody ripped off that guy's Kiss shit! Mike says, looks like something Nick would go after. Vermont? Did they bring it to Pawn Stars? Best I can do is $250. Chris writes, 12 o'clock. I need some snacks. All right. Thank you to Branjo for sending that along. The story really wasn't that much of a story. Well, it was, but the best part of it has to be doing the impression of Kiss. Okay, Sometimes I get stories from spots online like this Twitter page or X page, Right Angle News Network. So it's obviously right-leaning news. And they write breaking, and it's not. And they write shocking, and it's not. Breaking. Shocking video out of Portland, Oregon shows teachers at the Portland, do I say Montessori? Portland Montessori School leading children, some no older than 5 or 6, in an anti-ICE protest, sparking mass calls to remove any licenses that the school may have. And then they wrote, the teachers look exactly, and then it says, the teachers look exactly how to think, but I think they mean to write, the teachers look exactly how you think. I don't have a problem with any of this. I don't have a problem with the kids, these little kids telling ICE to go fuck themselves. Who cares? And I think the only teachers here that might, quote unquote, look the way you think they or look like they thought, or how you think that they would look. The only ones who on the right would have a problem with, I think, would be Brandon, who that might be a transgender person there. I'm not 100% on it. And then Kane here. Kane, look at Gina here. She teaches AMI primary guide Swifts. And then Andy does AMI primary guide, Dragonfly, AMI toddler guide, Bumblebee. I guess the little designators for the kids. Kane here is Bumblebee as well. So you got to understand, in this part of the country, gender can be quite fluid. And I don't think it's a good thing at all to like degrade people based on their gender. We're kind of trying to get past that as a country, but I don't know if everybody is on board. I think that more than 50% of the country don't like these people because they changed their gender. Now, I don't think that has anything to do with it. I think that these people are all valuable and just as good of educators as anybody could be. That's what the attitude that you have to have. So you got to understand that Right Angle News, that's a horrifically bigoted thing to say. That, oh, yeah, they look how you think they look. You know, I mean, who gives a shit? I teach and preach tolerance on this show. I am trying to help the people on the left be tolerant of the people on the right. Okay? And I'm trying to get the people on the right to be tolerant of the people on the left. I am your leader for tolerance. Like people on the left, you got to let these MAGA people do the MAGA things. And the people on the right, the MAGA people, you need to let the people on the left do their things and have no problem with it. And just let the world sort it out. You don't need to stick your fucking finger in their eye. Now, this may have been on Friday. They had a big, I think Friday was don't go to work and don't go to school and don't buy anything day, which for me, I'm not doing that. I am going to buy more because I think it's stupid. But that's just my opinion. I don't want to look you in the fucking eye and say it's stupid or you're stupid. I think it is stupid, and it's not helping anybody. It's hurting people. But I don't know how much it's really doing because you're going to buy, like I said, if you spend $5 a day on gasoline and you don't buy any on Friday, your $5 you're going to buy on Saturday is going to turn to $10. So that's just the example that I use. That's the math I'm using, keeping it simple. Here are the kids telling ICE to go fuck themselves. Oh, that's the, what do we want? No ICE. When do we want it now? But I think that if they want to be effective, they need to let these kids put them in cars. And when ICE is dragging people out of the house, you got to have the kids there. If you really want to be a true leader and teach them the process of protesting, you have to get out there, and while ICE is dragging people out of the house, you got to have them get involved. Now, I know that sounds nutty because ICE is likely to shoot you dead for just looking at them cross-eyed. But if you really want kids to be involved in the process, you're going to have to actually have them during these raids. And I would use the child as a shield, frankly. They're easy to pick up. And if I can hold one of the children here in front of me, and I can hold my phone with the other hand, and then say horrible things to the ICE agents, I am protected, and I can actually have that video go viral. In fact, I would hold 2 children if they're small enough. So we need to start utilizing these children and getting them to pull their share and their weight in the protests. And then they can see how this process really is. That's what I would do. Nick says these are racist children, Nick in the arena, out there protesting are hardworking Mexicans. Referring to the 2 Mexican guys whose names were, it doesn't matter, Ramon Gutierrez and Jesus Ochoa. Yes, racist. Those children are all racist. Newsflash just came in that 99.5% of all ICE agents cannot speak English. And they are actually all Mexican immigrants that have been given instant citizenship status to be able to conduct ICE raids. Donko says, didn't the administration recently state they were pulling out of blue states and cities and only going back if they were asked? I don't know. I don't know that. Probably. By the way, I heard from Matt S., who is, he listens to the audio podcast. He doesn't get this show live. And he writes, let's see. Fuck. I think I'm fucking this up. Who the hell sent me that? Hang on, I gotta find this. Ad placement. Thank you to Matt. He writes, check out this incredible ad that started at the end of Act 1 of your podcast as you were describing the ICE shooting Alex Preddy. Now, he says to me, I listen, by the way, EZ, on 1.5 speed, so it's going to sound a little bit different. Now, my first thought was it was me talking about the Preddy shooting and being all preachy, and then all of a sudden there was an ad for ICE that showed up. Because I do have ICE ads that run on the audio podcast. I don't know if they're running anymore, but there was a period of time when I say, hey, welcome to the podcast. And then the people who distribute my podcast, they put in their own ads. They have a sales team that sell these. So you might hear, oh, hey, buy your mattress here. Or, hey, get a car here. Or drink this soda. ICE bought ads on the fucking podcast because they had a big campaign for recruiting and getting. So all the Mexicans then heard that ad, and then they signed up for ICE, and now their job is to shoot all the white people. That's what's happening. Anyway, so the first thing I thought was this is going to be an ad for ICE. But no, I was wrong. He writes, check out the ad placement, EZ. So this is that moment. There's pepper spray in his face. He's like, fuck, shit, you assholes. And then they drag him to the middle of the street. There's 5 guys holding him down. You see one guy pulled his pistola out of his holster. I mean, he takes Freddie's pistol. And then the other guy goes, good, you've pulled the pistol. Now I can shoot him. And they actually zoomed in on his mouth. And he said, good, you've pulled his pistol. Now I can shoot him dead. And then he pulls it out, and they start loading him up with bullets.
Great shots start with confidence. Bushnell Golf delivers the most accurate distances available. So you
there's pepper spray in his face. Great shots.
Confidence. Bushnell Golf
Up with bullets.
Great shots start with confidence.
Terrible. Out, and they start loading him up with bullets.
Great shots start with confidence.
Yeah, that's horrible timing. Thank you to Matt for sending that along. I appreciate that. Alan says, terrible. Hold on. Hey, don't do that. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you to the sponsors that support me. Buy now, refinance later with the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. You can reach out 231-332-6505. They can help you get into your mortgage today. NMLS number 3035. Get pre-approved with Mario. He's been a long-time sponsor of this show. 231-332-6505 today. From anywhere in the U.S. Speaking of anywhere in the U.S., Frank Fuss can help you with your health care on healthcare.gov or the Affordable Care Act. You might need to make an adjustment to your policy because the law has changed recently, and who knows if it's going to go back. But you might need to adjust your policy so that you can make it more affordable for you. Changing the law means you're going to be paying more on your premium each month. You might already be doing that. If you want to reach out to Frank, go to appointmentwithfrank.com. That is appointmentwithfrank.com today. By the way, tomorrow marks the 10-year anniversary of my last day on free beer and hot wings. Ben Glaze recently sent me the clip that got me into trouble when I made fun of Joel's pants, which was my undoing, which it took me a long time to realize this. They were just waiting for any opportunity to get me off of that show. The show was just too expensive. And then when they presented Greg, in my opinion, the opportunity to get rid of him, he's like, he's kind of a fuck. We never really got along that great, so fuck that guy. That's what I believe happened. But anyway, tomorrow is that day. I remember very little about that. I remember I was running the board at the time. No. Or was I? Yeah. I was running the board at the time. And I made the comment. No big deal. Later on, Russ Hines comes in and says, oh, yeah, I'm worried Joel's going to be mad about that. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. There's nothing to be mad about. Day ends. About 3 p.m., he calls, and he's breaking the news. Oh, he's so mad. He's so mad. Oh, my God. This might be it for you, Eric. You've done it. I'm like, I have? You got to be kidding me. I had a bad feeling about it because of his tone of voice. Going to work on Friday, the 5th. And he makes me say sorry. It was awful. It was so bad for the stupid comment. After that, had a sit-down meeting with Russ, and then the whole crew were there. And he went through every member of the show to, chastise me. And they all were like, I can't believe you did. You're so bad. You betrayed us. How can you do this? Fuck, I don't even know. I left and never to be heard from again. I was on a Friday. And then they suspended me. So Saturday and Sunday happened. And then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. On that Friday, then they called me back, fired me then. So took another week's pay and then fired me. And while they're firing me, they're trying to buy my silence, which is, I didn't do it. It was almost $50,000. I said, fuck you. And then I get fired. And then on Monday, Saturday happens, Sunday happens. Monday is President's Day. They still didn't have what they were going to do right. And then the following Tuesday, the day after that, is when they finally cut me loose. Let's see. And that fell on February 16th. So the saga begins February 4th. And then it took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 days before it was finally announced that I was fired. Well, honestly, I would have gotten shit canned, probably, regardless, because as you can see, I'm not changing anything. I wouldn't have changed. I would have kept doing what I was doing, so I eventually would have gotten fired. Rebecca says you go from saving hot wings from the chopping block to being on it yourself. Twice that happened. Branjo says there was a podcast that I listened to about Bill Clinton and Monica Lewinsky, and right at the point of the story when she was about to give him a mouth party, there was a commercial for a meal plan called Gobble. That's fantastic. All right. Let's see. What can I talk about? No. Not a lot. I'm kind of running out of shit to talk about. But I can't leave without getting into the story about Florida nurse who gives up license because he got in trouble. I've never understood this. He says he will not perform anesthesia on MAGA patients. This is what I'm talking about. People need to dial shit back. There was a moment during COVID where we had a friend of the family who wouldn't get the shot and lost their career. It's like, it's so not fucking worth it. But at least on that, you could make the argument that people thought, well, there's a chance that that could harm me. But this is just insanity. Eric Martindale is no longer a registered nurse, according to the Florida Attorney General, James Uthmeyer. Healthcare is not contingent on political beliefs, and we have zero tolerance for partisans who put politics above their ethical duty to treat patients with the respect and dignity they deserve, he added. In a since-deleted post, Martindale said, I will not perform anesthesia for any surgeries or procedures for MAGA. It is my right. It is my ethical oath. It is? And I stand behind my education. I own all of my businesses, and I can refuse anyone. He later said that his Facebook account was hacked. Yeah, you can do that, and I get it. You know, you fucked up. Except nobody believes that. You're better off just saying it was AI, like I've talked about. If you get shit-faced and you put something up there that you shouldn't, and it comes, oh, fuck, I fucked up. Say, yeah, it's AI. Oh, my God. You believe this AI shit? It's crazy. Well, how is he hoping to vet the patients, though? I mean, are they laying there and being operated on? I mean, can you imagine if he's got somebody who's actually under sedation and he actually has to monitor them, and then he realizes that somehow, I don't know, maybe the guy has a tattoo that says MAGA. Is he going to, while the guy's getting his spleen removed, is he then going to inject him with medicine to wake him up during the procedure? Is that what he's, I mean, my God. And to say, it is my right, it is my ethical oath, I would say your ethical oath is to do no harm. Isn't that what isn't that called a Hippocratical oath? I might be getting that right. Bread Bowl Brain Chris, I'm looking to you for fact checking. I own all of my businesses and I can refuse anyone. You're a guy who gives anesthesia. Is that like a fly-by-night business? The portal bearing Martindale's license number and license verification on the Florida Department of Health's website says he voluntarily relinquished his license in the license status field. What a fucking asshole. This comes as another Florida nurse, Lexi Lawler. Please welcome to the stage Lexi Lawler, a former labor and delivery nurse at Baptist Hospital in Boca Raton Regional Hospital, was fired last week after posting a video in which she wished Caroline Levitt permanent harm during childbirth. In her video, she says, as a labor and delivery nurse, it gives me great joy to wish Carolyn Levitt a 4th-degree tear. That doesn't sound... I don't know what a 4th-degree tear is. But that might be like when you get a tear between the bottom of your vagina to your butthole. I think the docs can perform that, called like an episiotomy. But if it happens, if you get it, my God, if you're delivering a baby, that's what Tyler says. 4th-degree tear is from vag to asshole. If you are like the doctor, you never want during a delivery, the word tear is so bad. I mean, can you imagine being a mom and you're doing your part to deliver the baby and you hear the doc mutter the word tear? Tophus says she's a piece of shit. But you don't put that out there in public like that. Yeah, I don't know that she's a piece of shit. You see, you're part of the problem by calling her a piece of shit. I am working my hardest to try to get folks to reduce the rhetoric a little bit. I think you're better off in my effort to teach you all something and saying, well, I don't agree with her at all. Tophus says she also called the 2 shooting victims domestic terrorists. Well, you got a letter. Isn't that a book? Letter or Let Them? Yeah, but they did this. Let them. Let them. It's okay. It's going to happen. You let them pick up the pieces on their own. Alan says she is not a piece of shit, Mr. Exploding Bullets. You see what you've done there? You pissed him off now with your calling Caroline Levitt a piece of shit. Rebecca says, and then they stitched that shit. Imagine having a bowel movement after that. It's got to be terrifying. Hard pass, no thanks. Oh, my God. So you're not interested in having children. I'm finding that more and more often I am discovering that audience members of mine have no desire to have children. Becca Shea says, oh, it's not that bad. When I say more and more, I mean two. Rebecca and Stevie. All right. No, I can't get behind anybody that, I'm not giving anesthesia to MAGA. It's just a stupid comment to make. First of all, there's no way he can know. Just keep your mouth shut. Do your fucking job. Protest if you want, but my God, give me a break. Becca Shea says, you don't even feel the ripping. That's another word you don't want to hear during childbirth because you're in so much pain from the other stuff. My God. How many children do you have, Becca Shea? So you have biracial children, right? Isn't that correct? Because Kevin is an African American and you are a Caucasian and you two have children. So those are biracial children. Unless if there was another person in the past. Because Becca Shea says, yes, my daughter is half Hispanic and my son is half black. Okay, so what you have there is when you have a white person and a Hispanic person, that's solid. That's better than white on white. But white on black is fantastic looking children. But the best are Hispanic and black. Oh, my God. They're almost at a level of Armenian children, which there's no babies more attractive than Armenian babies. We know that. Some of the world's most beautiful people are Armenian, in fact. Things only get fucked up when white people mate with white people. That's when you create ugly individuals. We all know this. Now, not all of them. Like there are people in the audience right now who are white guy, white girl, white baby. And they're not ugly. But you're rolling the dice more often than not when two white people have kids. David in Hudsonville says his grandkids are biracial. And they are awesome looking. Oh, they are. They're fantastic. I know it. I can guarantee it. That's like what Amon Ra Brown's dad says. You can only step on it once. You can't cut it too much. I already talked about our friends over at Pinball Land. They're the best. If you want to book an event there or just hang out, head over to Pinball Land in Rockford, Michigan. Their website is pinball-land.com. Thank you to Kuiper Tree Care. You can find them online at kuipertreecare.com, Kuiper, kuipertreecare.com. You can call or text 616-828-8225. They're the best in the business. 616-828-8225. Whether it's cutting down a tree, trimming a tree, grinding a stump, cleaning up storm damage, or tree risk assessment, they do it all at Kuiper Tree Care. 616-828-8225. Do you have an asshole of the day? Maureen says, I have 2 biracial sons, both very handsome, as is my Caucasian son. Well, yeah, he is, but he's not as attractive as your biracial kids. So wait a minute. So does that mean that before Terry, you had an affair with an African-American gentleman, or did you adopt those children and they came from husband and wife biracial folks? Is that, I forget. I always lose track of who does what. Alan says, agree, just because. Alan says, asshole of the day, Amanda, just because. Why is Amanda asshole of the day? What the fuck did Amanda do? Hey, I'm not the asshole of the day. Fuck you. Okay. I think just because, and for what he's trying to do, the asshole of the day should be Roger Goodell. By the way, I didn't even get into it today, but remember how Bill Belichick didn't make the Hall of Fame? Now, Robert Kraft did not make the Hall of Fame. The owner of the Patriots. Something's going on there. Asshole of the day, Roger Goodell. Congrats to Roger. Maureen says, no, I adopted the younger 2, but their biological parents were not married. White mom, black dad for both. Oh, and they have different parents. So every child that you have has a different mom and dad, biologically speaking. So if you did a family reunion to be you, Tare, and then your honky child, and then one son, their mom and dad, his mom and dad, the other son, his mom and dad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9 people involved in this. Rebecca says we should check up on Pooh Bear's fundraising. Good call. Thank you to Jill, who threw $15 at us. Who is Jill? I don't know. Maybe that's a pal of hers in the classroom, or it's an audience member. Thank you to Jill. $335 has been collected. So I think there was $40 to get it started. There is the link again in the chat of the Twitch stream. I will update it tomorrow. We got to have Pooh Bear beat the coworker because she wants that trophy. It's like that scene from Pulp Fiction when Uma Thurman's character and John Travolta's character were dancing at, what was that restaurant called? Jackrabbit Slim's in the dance contest. They got the trophy. It was a teenage wedding and the old folks wished them well. Da 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 da. All right. Thank you, folks. I appreciate you. I will be back with the Patreon bonus podcast a little bit later on. That's okay. Have a good one. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.